guys, how's it going? Today is day one of floor installation in the Hartley. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this part of the project to be done, because once the floor is in, that means we can start setting things in there. We still need to trench over electrical and water, which is going to be a huge project, but all of that happens on the outside of the Hartley because everything on the inside has already been roughed in. So there's already conduit in the walls for all the electrical. The plumbing is already roughed in so the floor can go right around it. So, it won't be completely done after the floor is in, but we can start using it. Yay. So you can see Benny and his crew arrived this morning. They've already started kind of digging out the floor just a bit. It's just dirt in there. They're gonna level it a bit. And then Aaron and I, while they're doing that and prepping, we're gonna run down to the rock yard to pick out the pallets of stone we kind of want to go with. We're gonna pick through the pallet though. They ordered double of what we need because they have other projects they can use it on. And then we can go through and sift through the stones and pick out the ones we like. It is natural stone, which is what I want. And that's kind of why it took so long for this step to happen, because we wanted to find just the right thing. They actually were able to fit their ditch witch in there, which is awesome. I'm so happy we went with the double door. And there's our table and winter arrangement sitting out there on the grass. Kind of forgot to remove that. So they got that popped out here and then just kind of started right in. And the way that we're doing this is we're laying it kind of like a paver patio. So there's gonna be all the layers, the gravel and the sand, and then the stone, and then there'll be like that polymeric sand between the stone, which will allow water to drain right through like it's an outdoor patio. And that's what we wanted to have happen, I guess. We didn't want to have to slope the floors into an actual drain and have all of that going on. So anyway, I'm gonna go find Aaron. We're gonna head down to pick out the stone. Oh, you guys, look at this stone. It's called Choctaw Blue. I guess I should probably ask if this is the right stone, but I think it is. Yeah. So what we're going for are the gray pieces. There are a lot of tan pieces too, but we're going to kind of pick through those and go for more of this look right here.
I wonder if you can flip some of these to get a darker side.
Well, that's what Benny said. He said that a lot of them, that have a little bit of roughness.
It's darker to me on this side.
He said that the ones that have a little more roughness too can probably be flipped over. Yeah. Here's other ones right here. Boy, they're gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at these. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted. We looked at a lot of different options of stone and nothing was really fitting. I really wanted something that had the right color tone. I didn't want it to be something that was too warm. That's why we're going away from any piece that has tan. I wanted it to just be more gray, but I didn't really wanted a manufactured paver. I mean, there's a lot of good pavers out there and I don't mind that at all. In fact, we had kind of settled on one that had one large rectangular piece and then a square and then a smaller kind of brick sized piece, and kind of just doing one of those floors. But I wanted something that was just a little bit maybe more unique. And the gal here at Ontario Rock and Landscape, she messaged me and said, I think I found exactly what you want, and I got a really good deal on it. So I felt like, okay, let's do it. We had pictures of it and that's it, kind of a poor picture. It was kind of backed up and there was a bunch of dirt on the stones, but I just thought, let's do it. It's natural stone. Nothing is the exact same size, but they're rough squares and rough rectangles. This is something we can work with. So what I'm gonna do is talk with the guys. We'll just kind of pick out a couple of pallets. It's not really that many square feet. I think we needed 300 or 350 or something. Top end was 350. I don't know how much that equals out per pallet, but we'll pick out which pallets to send first, and that's all I need to do here. All right, we are back home and it looks like the guys already have made a huge dent. They got it all dug out. They're putting in the first layer right now. I think it's gravel or sand or a mixture of the two. And we're hoping to just show you the whole process. Aaron has a camera set up on the inside. I think it's suction cupped to the glass in there. So we're hoping that it captures the whole process, but I did want to explain how far out we're going to come with the stone, because we're not doing all the way around the greenhouse for now because of all the trenching that still needs to go on. And I really kind of want to get the gardens planted and started so that we know where everything ends up, because when you get started in a new garden space, sometimes your plans have to change, or they evolve based on you set stuff out and decide, well, I don't it looked good on paper or in my mind, but I'm not really liking it. I kind of want to shift things around. So well, if we decide to do stone in more of the area on the outside, we'll do that at a different time. But I did learn that this stone came out of Oklahoma, which is kind of interesting, a quarry there, and we can get more of it if we need more of it. So and it'll match. That's what I was worried about. I was worried that if we got stone now and it came out of like one vein in the quarry, that if we got some at a later date, it would have a different color variant, but I guess that it wouldn't. But just let me show you right outside the greenhouse how far we're gonna come out for now. You can see they dug out right here, and we are gonna bring the stone right here and then a couple feet out. Look at these tough Purissima blonde tulips, my goodness. And same thing back here. You can kind of see a little bit better what that's gonna be like. I think that that'll be just kind of a nice landing pad, an area to where it, I don't know, I was worried if we stopped right at the door with the stone and then had gravel right up to it, we'd have issues with gravel trying to get into the greenhouse. I was kind of thinking maybe if we went out a little bit, it would give it a tiny bit more of a finished look and help eliminate that problem maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we will do a walkthrough tour in the end when it's all done, but for now, I hope you enjoy watching this process. All right, guys, the floors for the most part in the Hartley are done. We didn't want to let too much time pass before we gave you an update as to how things are going. There are a few details yet to wrap up, but that can't happen until we finish some of the trenching around the structure. In fact, I came through and did a cursory clean, and it is very echoey in here until we get plants and furniture in here. I can't wait. Anyway, I came through and did a cursory clean this morning because, you know, with all the trenching and stuff, it was really dusty in here. In fact, the stones in here at this point look a little bit lighter than they actually are because I need to wash everything with water in here. But they are gonna come back through, they're gonna sand. They used a granite dust in between the stones here. They're gonna come back through and do it one more time in a few areas, you know, where there was a little bit of empty space, and you know, they know what they're doing. I think it looks great at this point. Now, I did wash a couple of these just really lightly. I had a damp rag out here. So you can see like this one is a little bit deeper. So a lot of these will take on a little bit of a deeper hue in the end, but this is called Blue Choctaw. It came out of Oklahoma, and it was something that, like, in my mind, I could see what I wanted for this floor, and I really wanted it to look old world. I didn't want it to look like prefabricated. I didn't want to use pavers that were all like very uniform. I felt like I wanted this to look like, you know, this is out of the UK, and I wanted it to look like it had been here for a while and the floor had been here for a while. So I didn't really want like perfection in design, if that makes sense. I wanted them to be, you know, somewhat, I don't know, kind of uniform in that they're like rectangles and squares and such, but I didn't want the edges to be perfect. I also wanted really, really thick stone. So these range from 3 to 5 inches thick. Like this is a super substantial floor. In fact, if we hop right out here, you can see, well, ooh, it changes a lot. You come out here, no echo. You can see how thick some of these stones are. So we came out just a little bit, just so we have a little bit of a like a landing pad outside the door. Right up to it though, there will not be a step down. There's going to be gravel right up to this stone. And I thought it might be nice to have a little bit of space between the doors and the gravel so that gravel doesn't kick in and get in the way of the door. But you can see how thick and substantial these are. So yeah, I'm just so thrilled with the way it looks. I think that the color works really well with the color of brick in here. Like the grout that we chose is gray, and there is a little bit of like this kind of tan color, and you can see in some of the rocks there's the same tan color and then the multicolors of gray. And I kind of wanted a floor that didn't scream at you. I want the greenhouse, the structure itself, to be what shines, and then the plants that we put in here to shine as well. So I think that I don't know, I think that that's what's gonna happen. So in terms of what is gonna happen next, of course, outside, a lot is going on still. All the trenches are still open. I think the electricians are pretty much done, but they need to pull, well, they're done with their conduit. They need to pull the wire, and then they'll put in, we've got plugins and light switches. They're going to put 2 fans in, one on this side and then one on the opposite end, and then they're gonna hang the chandelier in the center. So that'll go in like right in between these 2 like peaks. It's gonna look so neat. And then we have a friend who owns a custom cabinetry and that kind of business. Is that what it is? Custom cabinetry and countertops and such. Anyway, he came over, took measurements, and we have a really beautiful countertop we're gonna be putting in here. So we have this plumb right now. There's just a faucet on top, but that's actually our potable water. So it's like drinkable water that we had plumbed in here. So the sink will be right in here, and then there'll be countertop here where we can do, you know, some work and things like that. And we'll have a beautiful view out the glass there. So those are some of the things that are gonna happen next. Other than, you know, of course, the gardens around it. We're gonna be working on a lot throughout this summer. Our first plants for this structure will be arriving next week. We won't be ready for them like to go in the ground next week, but they'll be here. And then we can start in as soon as all the area has been filled back in and everything has been leveled. All right, to end things off today, I'll show you how everything in the cold frames are doing right now. We're actually getting a little bit of rain, and we've got a pile of stone right here. Like, look at this. That is such a huge, thick, beastly stone. I love it. But the cold frames are doing fantastic. The kohlrabi is just loving its life in here. But like, I actually need to harvest some of this for dinner. The romaine that's in here, absolutely gorgeous. And there's just a whole bunch in here. The daffs were beautiful. We got to enjoy those blooms. You can see the stems in here, or the leaves. We actually enjoyed those blooms before the kohlrabi got too big. So that timing worked out really nicely. And then we're just harvesting lettuce, and cabbage is starting to form up, but you can see how everything is just loving it in here. At this point, we've been leaving the windows, is that what they're called? Lids. We've been leaving the lids open because we don't have any freezing temperatures for the next while. So anyway, things are just moving along a lot quicker now with this structure. Super happy with all of it. And we will show you an end shot. Like after I get, of course, I mean, you'll see a lot of progress as we tackle more projects, but I can't wait to get that floor really super duper clean and get some things in there. That'll be a really fun day. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.